Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Jedi Knights Watch. My name is Graham, and this is episode 28. It's been a hot minute since I've done a show. Was actually on a hiatus for a little bit due to going on vacation, moving to a new place. I have the new pad here, as you can see, and it feels good to be back. And tonight, we're just going to ease back into it. It's going to be laid back. I have one very special guest. It is the fabulous Fabs himself, FabsFigures. Thank you for being on the show once again. Is this your second or third time on the show?
Probably my third, I think. I would hope you would invite me more than twice, but but yeah, I thank you for having me. No, I always wanted to be here, but remember I was doing other stuff at the time, at the same time you were going on. So, but I'm free now, so I better be here every week.
Oh, every week. Well, this is an odd time, so I mean, you guys tuning in might be like, "Oh, I didn't know Jedi was going live tonight." Usually Monday nights, and that is the case, but football has started, and that does rule my life. So, because of that, I'm trying to find a new time, new date. We're just kind of trialing Wednesday nights right now. Haven't settled on anything yet. So if you are around, jump on in. Fabs and I are gonna have a great show. It's gonna be more of just like us hanging out, doing some stuff that we want to talk about. But I want to do something a little bit different, just so you guys could be with us, talk sixth scale, and yeah, see kind of where the night takes us. So if you guys out there have anything that you want to talk about, just shoot it in the chat below. Um, so Fabs, what's new in your neck of the woods? You briefly told me behind the scenes that you had a busy day with shipments. What did y'all get?
Oh man, I got what did I get today? So I got the Ghost Rider, my third piece, Ghost Rider. What's his name? Slade, I believe. For they got the horse as well. I got the Iron Man illusion, Mysterio illusion Iron Man. I got what else do I have over here? Oh, I got my second Rambo 1 figure from Threezero. I got my let me show you this one.
Ooh, a little show and tell here.
Yeah, I completely forgot. This I'm very excited about because they made two companies made him, so I wanted to get both to be able to compare them, and I'm going to display obviously one with the head sculpt, one with the helmet. The helmet's really really cool, so I'm very excited for this figure. Let me open it real quick. Of course, it comes, completely like covered, but this figure is from. I'm going to give you a little hint. It's from the new Suicide Squad, so you may already know what it is.
Oh, is it Bloodsport?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the So Toys one. I forget. I think the other one was Present Toys. Not sure. I don't think it was Present Toys. It could have been. It could have been Present Toys or Thunder Toys or something. But this one's the one I'm excited about because this one's supposed to be the one with the nicer head sculpt.
As he struggles to open the box.
Yeah, no, look at this thing. Yeah.
Very nice.
That helmet.
So when I saw the promo pictures, I was a little skeptical, I guess you could say, just because I didn't think the likeness was, and it is third party, so it is what it is. But I just couldn't see the entire likeness to Idris Elba.
Which one though? Because the So Toys looks way better than the other one.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time remembering which one it was. He looked like an old man, basically.
Yes, it's the other one because This one is beautiful. This one is like Hot Toys like level compared to the other one.
I'm really surprised that Hot Toys didn't pick up more of that movie line. I thought The Suicide Squad was actually pretty decent. And I think, you did King Shark. I could have swore we would get a red dress Harley. I'm really surprised that they never announced that.
And King Shark is not even a figure. It's a diorama piece. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a diorama series. So it's not even like an actual, thing that you're going to be playing around with too much. It's just you're standing there. It's going to be I'm assuming it's going to be a really big piece, just because he's a big guy. Mm-hmm. And so I was surprised about that. Like, why would you just not make the whole figure? So I guess it's
Right.
going to be, lighter. It's not going to be as heavy. I don't know how they're going to play that off. But yeah, no, I don't understand why they didn't do the whole line either.
Well, and Harley Quinn seems to sell, so I'm surprised that they didn't do that. Peacemaker, I mean, you could say you could use that as like a Suicide Squad stand-in if you want, even though it's from the show.
Right.
But then yeah, Bloodsport. I mean, if they're gonna make figures for Eternals, you would think they would make a few more for the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but it's DC. It's different. You know what I mean? It's
We
not.
hate
It's
DC. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later too.
no, I love DC. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying for some reason, we know that Hot Toys doesn't really love DC like they love Marvel. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even Polka Dot Man, a third party. I think 2 third-party companies made Polka Dot Man, and Hot Toys did. And I didn't get either one because I was like, Hot Toys has to make. If they're making all these figures, like they have to make them. But even Bloodsport, they didn't even bother getting into, which is weird. So I don't know.
Well, let me just check in with the chat. Some people are starting to stream in a little bit here. We got Jables in the house. Really awesome collector out there. I really want to have him on the show at some point as well. What's going on, Jables? We have Leighton Richards in the house. What's up, guys? Got Big Breda stopping by. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming by. Pablo in the house. What's going on? And we have Bobby Ray. What's up, fellas? Just enjoying a little Wednesday night chat with my friend Fabs here. Leighton Richards also says the third-party Polka Dot Man looks pretty good. Hoping we get a rat catcher too. Yeah, that would be pretty sweet. I mean, there's just a lot of cool characters from the movie.
Exactly.
And I think they would look really good together in somebody's collection, almost like Justice League. Like all of them together would just be an epic scene. So,
and the thing about them is, the colors, their colors, standing together, are very appealing. So that's why it's kind of shocking that they're not going to make them because, like you said, they would look really, really nice together.
And I know you collect pretty much every damn figure out there, but do you care if the movie stinks, but you like the figure? Do you still get the figure, or does the movie have to be something that you enjoy, or as long as you just like the figure, you're going to get it?
So depending on what it is, and let's say, for example, the movie's been out and I don't go to every movie, opening weekend, at all, ever. I used to. I stopped that many years ago. When the movie's out, like, for example, Thor came out, the figure came out for pre-order. I pre-ordered the figure without even seeing the movie. You know what I mean? So whether I like the movie or not, it has nothing to do with me collecting. I collect because I really love Hot Toys. I really love how they look. I really love the figures. I really love the product. I love the brand. So that doesn't really bother. A lot of movies I haven't seen, and I have full collections of things. You know what I mean? So it doesn't bother me. Whether I like the movie or not. I collect because I love collecting. I don't collect because, oh well, I didn't like this character in this movie, so I'm not going to get it. The figures are usually amazing, so why wouldn't I get them? So that's why I collect mostly everything.
Oh, and you just said mostly everything. Is there anything that you don't collect? Like you're just like, nope, I'm out of that, or I don't.
That. I didn't get into. I don't even know the name of the show. The Boys. I didn't get into any of those. Just because it was never appealing to me. I don't know anything about it. And the main guy, I don't know if you know the name. I don't know the name.
I haven't seen it.
Like the Superman guy. I showed you the pictures of the guy. The head sculpt.
Oh yeah. I was like, I don't know who this is. So.
Yeah, I don't know who the guy is. But a few companies so far have made his figure, and because I don't know who he is or gotten to the show or know anything about him, Homelander, I think his name is. Maybe it might be. I don't know. I just don't care for it. I haven't seen a really good figure of him anyway. But even if I did, I wouldn't say, oh well, I don't know anything about this, so let me get it anyway. No, like Marvel, DC, seeing the movies or not, I will always buy. But stuff like that I really don't know. Depends on what it is. I probably won't get, like that, for example.
Yeah, it's pretty sad because I think what I know that character from is actually just like memes or GIFs.
Exactly. I know. No, I've seen commercials for the show.
Yeah.
I never even said, oh, let me watch one episode to see. And apparently it's supposed to be a really good show. But I don't know. I never got into it.
Let me just check in with the chat here. Actually, we have Strange. How do you think that pronounces that?
Legak.
Legak? I want to say logic, like strange logic, but maybe that's it.
Sounds like legacy, but without the Y.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there it is. He says, do you have the battle damaged Iron Man? Which is better in person, the regular Mark 85 or the battle damaged suit? This is a great question because I just got the battle damaged Iron Man on Monday, and it replaces the normal Iron Man 85. So I'm going to be selling this. If anybody out there is interested, you'll get it for a discounted deal. Hit me up if it's something that you're interested in. Pretty much brand new. It is on eBay, but I wouldn't mind not paying the evil fees. So let me know if you're interested in that. So yes, I do have the Iron Man 85. He's going to be stuck in this one pose probably for the rest of its life, because that's the iconic pose. It's really just what I wanted it for. But which is better in person? Ooh, that's tough. Fabs, you have both. Which one do you think is better in person?
See, I've always said I love battle damage stuff. I love, things that are destroyed, cut up, broken. So I will always pick a battle damage over the regular, and it has nothing to do with this one looks better. To me, the battle damaging gives any figure more character and more appeal. You know what I mean? And it just makes it, sexier in my opinion. So that's why I've always loved anything battle damage over anything regular. But if you get either one, they're both great.
I agree. And the only reason I really got the 85 is because at the time I was an impatient collector, and I couldn't wait for the battle damage to come out. But I was actually really impressed when I got the clean version 85 because he really stands out on the shelf. And if I can share my screen really quick, I will show you how I had him posed. So I just kind of had him on the Thanos rock, and he was in the middle with the he still comes with the nano gauntlet. So I mean that's cool. Obviously he's just not battle damage, but something about the clean version does look really cool. So
it's very classy. That's what it is. It's just a very classy figure. You don't need it back, and that's why it's hard to compare which one's better. They're both great. They're both great. It's just two different versions of it. One's clean, one's battle damage, but I personally like the battle damage stuff.
I agree, and I think for me, like I was telling Fabs off screen, because he was like, "Well, why are you selling that one?" And it's like, "Well, I just can't afford to keep both at this point." But I think the battle damage one is just the iconic scene that I want to display. It's the last kind of moment of Iron Man and Tony Stark. So, like for me, I just kind of wanted to have that in the display itself. So that's kind of why I went with this one. And yeah, I'm a big fan of battle damage too. Like I love the battle damage Terminators. I even have the battle damage Thanos, as you can see back there. So anything battle damage I like to get as well. I think, like you said, it just adds more detail, more character. Just looks awesome because battle damage. Let me check back in here. You guys are doing great in the chat, kind of keeping us going here. Jabel says, I spent a week rearranging my collection and cases. Looking forward to sharing it soon. Dude, I love to see collection videos. So yeah, get that out as soon as you can. I have to come out with one this week just to show the new setup and everything like that. But yeah, if I could, I would just watch collection videos all the time. Fabs takes a long time to get through, but at least his are kind of tight in there. So all right.
It's just one big figure together.
We got single songwriter in the house. Hello, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Jabel says he just picked up the battle damage Iron Man. Did anybody use the 10% code? Because that's why I decided to snatch him up on the Labor Day weekend. I got the 10%. So Sideshow seems like they're doing a lot more sales. Would you agree, Fabs? At least once a month.
Wait, which 10%?
It was Labor Day weekend.
Oh, okay. No, I rarely use. I use those thanks codes that they give you.
Okay,
but never really like anything else.
That's how they get you too. It's like I buy a figure and then like 2 weeks later they're like, "Oh, here's a $25 off."
Yes,
like, damn it.
Yes. I use that. That's what I use when I pre-order something. I use that, and it say it's like the shipping fee. You know what I mean?
Right.
It takes off those $20 that the shipping costs. So it's not bad.
Strange Legacy. Man, this collecting is just addicting. Trying so hard not to get 2 Hot Toys a month. I mean, I just started. If you just started, go back and watch my video of things I wish I knew before I started collecting Hot Toys, because yeah, if you obviously, for new collectors, we don't want you to learn any hard lessons. So if you can just figure it out before you get like down that rabbit hole, it's probably a good idea. It is addicting. I mean, would you agree with that, Fabs?
I wouldn't say a dick. No, I'm kidding. Of course, look at me.
He's like buried in figures.
Yeah, no, it's very, very addicting. And the thing is, you know, now it's even worse because the amount of speed and the rate of speed that they're announcing and releasing figures compared to when I started is two different worlds. So back then, it was, I think, you were able to control it a little bit more. Now you're bombarded with figures left and right all day, every week. There's something and it's tough for somebody starting because they're very nice. They're really cool. You know, they're from movies that everybody loves. And it's like, God, I really like it. I really love it. I don't want to miss out on it, blah, blah, blah. So it's a very, very crazy, difficult combination to get away from. And the worst part is if the person's just starting.
Right. And it can be a very dangerous hobby if you're not careful. You know, when I started too, I felt like I had to go backwards and get everything that I loved. And man, I know I was getting like 3-4 figures a month as well. And then, yeah, all of a sudden you look at your bank account, you're like, ooh, I should probably slow down a little bit here. So I think being patient is very important in this hobby. Know that you cannot collect everything unless you're Fabs. And, you know, maybe pick something and focus with that. Like pick the original trilogy of Star Wars, or pick Marvel, the Endgame, or the one-offs, or whatever you want to do. But try to hone in on something so that you're a little bit disciplined and stick to your budget. Budgeting is very important.
I say it's like giving a little kid, sugar. They just want more and more and more. You give a kid, a lollipop, and another one and another one,
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And it's what you just said. It's very true, because I feel like when a collector matures or a collector starts off as a person in control already, will only collect what they really, really, really like. So that's where you have a lot of Iron Man only collectors. They don't collect anything else but Iron Man. They'll get every single Iron Man, but they won't get a Thor. They won't get a Captain America. They won't get anything else but Iron Man. And they'll have 100 Iron Man, but that's it. That's what I feel like. You're in control of your collection, and you know exactly which character is the one that you really like and the only one you stick to, and that's your favorite character of all time. And that's when you know how to be in control of everything.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you just need that kick in the ass. Like you need to fall down, I guess, sometimes to like realize this is a hobby. This isn't like the number one. Like your bills come first. You should probably save a little money as well, and then spend on Hot Toys. And even for a little bit, I'll admit I wasn't saving the money I should, and I was just using it for Hot Toys to catch up. So lessons learned, and now I'm on like a tighter budget, and I want to stick with that. So yeah, just try to budget as best you can, Strange Legacy, because otherwise, we don't want you to tap out. We want you to be a part of the community. So just take it for me, I'm thinking like a 1 figure a month, and that'll kind of be that. So whatever works for you in your budget.
The worst part about burning out and tapping out is that you end up resentful of the hobby, and you end up disliking it, and you end up, like, for example, if you're somebody who's constantly in the groups and very involved, even if you're not constantly getting everything, but you're getting a figure here and there, and all of a sudden you get in over your head and you have to stop. Your way to dealing with that, or your way of dealing with that, is completely just getting out and like staying away from the groups, and so now you cut yourself off for something that made you happy for so long because you didn't have any self-control, and
Right.
It shouldn't be those extremes, and that's what you're trying to avoid.
Jable says collection videos are crack. Hey, they really are. I just love seeing how how they display their collections. I don't care if it's messy or if it's spaced out, if it's kind of closer together, if it's detox, if it's module cases, if it's on the shelf. I love seeing it. Like even D Knight, I just love the way he has his set up. You know, I love people that have theirs in detox. I like mine in module cases, but there's really no wrong way, and I just love seeing everybody's creativity. So
I think it's just how you have them displayed. I think it's, you know, even like museum poses on a floating shelf. You know,
yeah.
as long as you have like a nice, just have them nicely like put, I think it looks great.
Do you enjoy posing, or like do you just not have time for it, or do you just not enjoy it?
So
Because for me, it
I
seems more like work.
so number one, I'm not artistic like that to be able to, you know, get the angles right and turn the and twist the torso properly and you know, get that angle. That's not me. That's why I just grab it, take my pictures, take my videos, museum pose, boom, done. Not only that, but in my situation at this point, the space, you know, posing a
Mhm.
Spider-Man takes up more room than having them standing straight, you know. So bigger figures obviously take up more space and more space. So from the beginning, just not being artistic to begin with, that's why I never got into it. Do I love posing? Absolutely. Do I love seeing posing? Absolutely. I think that's how you're really supposed to enjoy these figures. You know, the thing with posing also is you can damage the figures depending on what you're trying to pose, how hard, how deep you're trying to pose it. So that knowing this has turned me off from even trying to anyway, because now we could watch. I don't know if you know the guy How to Be a Poser
Yep.
on Sideshow.
Yep.
So I followed, you know, just my own thing, like privately, like let me see if I could do it, like you know, he's telling me to do it, and I could easily follow those videos and pose my figures, but it's not, you know, I don't bother, but it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, if I could pick, I want something in between. I want a museum pose, but like a natural pose if I can. But at the same time, I don't enjoy taking a figure I mean, I enjoy it a little bit, okay, but I don't enjoy just like going out of my way to take a figure and pose them a few ways and take photos and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I enjoy taking photos, but like,
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I just like to have it and admire it, I guess, from the shelf and I like them all together and seeing it that way. I mean, more power to people that do like posing because that's part of the fun. I
Of
just
course.
I just don't get into it as much as maybe the next person. So, um,
I have figures right now, okay, that the posing is like literally straight out the box with the elbows. No, I'm not even kidding. The elbows stay locked out like this and like not even like bent a little, nothing. Like that's how bad I was. And again, they've been they've been posed for so long that I don't even bother like fixing it. But that's how like anti-posing I was because I was just like, you know what, like I don't even want to bother with it. So I'll just take it out of the box, put whatever accessories I wanted, and literally straight like this, like straight
mhm.
up like, mummy pose.
Yeah, I have some figures that I'll repose maybe every 4 to 6 months, and then I have some that are in like the same pose. Like when I get a pose that I love, to me, I don't and until I get sick of it, I guess. I just don't see a need to change it up. Like my Jack Sparrow, I got when I put him back, I got a nice pose on his nice diorama base, and I don't know, I love how it is, and you know, like but John Wick, I'll change up here and there because he's got a lot of stuff he can do, and like Spider-Man, I don't like posing them in dynamic poses because I don't want the wrinkles. I want to keep the suit pristine. So, but then there's other people that don't care and they get the figure to pose it and that's what they want to do. And I'm like, that's great too. I mean, I love it that we have all of these choices that us collectors can do with our figures.
Right. Yeah. No, and like you said, the posing is, you know, half of the collecting. You know, these figures are meant to be posed. The figures that the pictures that we see from the figures when they're announced by Hot Toys, they're all posed. You know what I mean? They're all
Yep.
doing something. Every image they're doing something to show you that this is what they're meant to be doing. But it's like, man, it's like I don't want to ruin it.
One for you to go back now and start posing all your figures.
They wouldn't fit. They would not fit. Look behind me. Look behind. Look at the Spider-Man shelf. Just that alone is 3 rows of figures. Where? How would I even try to, you know, pose anything? I can't.
Are those DTOFs back there? Or is that a different kind of cabinet?
No. This is this was a I got these on eBay many years ago. I just found them because I was looking for display cases, and I saw their commercial grade. Just and actually they came with halogen, like pre-lit with halogen bulbs,
Okay.
and they used to get real hot. So I ended up changing it's a piece up top. I forget what they call it, and I changed it to LED, and then I changed the bulbs to LED, so I could leave it on, forever without the LEDs getting hot, which is better for the figures. You don't want the figures to get burned. But no, these are commercial grade, like big, heavy duty. Look how tall they are.
Oh yeah. Ooh, I
Heavy
see the
duty.
DeLorean.
Oh yeah. Yep. So no, these are heavy duty. What do you call it? Cases. Commercial.
I think if the tumbler would have fit in these Modu cases, I probably would have that already.
The tumbler? Which one?
Yeah. The one that just the new one, yeah. I mean, but it's like I think this too wide by this much.
Yeah, the wheels in the back.
Yep.
A problem. They stick out a lot. So even I don't know if you could. Let me see if I could show you. Look, it even hangs off the. Oh
yeah.
The top. See how they all fit proper. Even the Justice League one. Look how wide those tires are. It actually hangs off like the tumbler. So look, I got every single tumbler they made so far except the newest one, just because I didn't need it. But those tires are the problem. They stick out a lot, and because I have stuff already on the wall, I can't really shove it in more, into the wall. So I leave it like that. I don't touch it, so it's fine.
You got Black Series up there as well?
No,
what's
those
in the
are
carded?
no. Those are MMA figures. They're either UFC or Round 5 MMA. They're I think they're about 7 to 8 inch tall figures. They're all literally every single one is UFC.
Okay.
And so I started with those years ago, and I think I have every single one ever made. And then all of a sudden they stopped making them. I don't know why, but I just have what I have for whatever they made. I love those things. I was really into the UFC at one point. Like I was getting the fights every week, every Saturday. And then, when they started going from, I think it was like $40 something to like, I think it was like 60 something or 7. I was like, nope. I was like, I'm good. And that was it. I just stopped.
Especially when you don't get the fight that you want. And then you're like, what did I just pay for?
Yep. So I'm like, nah, that was it.
Strange Legacy says, both of you have very good figures. The way you have them displayed, respect, 100 to both. Appreciate that. Single Songwriter says, I think I would feel remorse if I gave up taking years to collect. Yeah. I mean, I get it if like some life-shattering thing happens and, you got to sell your collection. But yeah, to just feel like I wanted to bow out and just sell everything, that'd be tough.
I was talking about that earlier. I said we were talking about how the guest that I had on my channel today was talking about insurance, and he has his stuff insured. So I said, so we got into the whole topic, and I said, if anything happened, I said you would start again, because he said, I would have to start again. I said, I would never. I said, if God forbid anything happened, there is no way. There's so much invested in here that if God forbid, I were to lose anything, that would be it for me. That would be my sign to get out, and that's it.
Leighton Richards says, totally agree. Feel like I got a bit carried away in my first year since all the hot toys look great, but now specializing what I love, going back to Transformers, etc., not hyping about new releases. I'm in the same boat. And I think, too, as new collectors, and I remember seeing the YouTube videos before I had a hot toy figure, and at the time, I mean, I was into like NECA and Funko Pops, and I know Fabs always makes fun of me for that, but it is what it is. And I just remember seeing this on YouTube, and I was like, oh my god, the detail, and like it looks just like them, and I'm like, this is so crazy. And then when you get it in hand, you're like, oh my god, I gotta get more of these. I gotta get more. And then you're like, well, I got Batman, I need Joker, and now I need Two-Face and Catwoman, and oh my god, they got Marvel. So it spirals out of control pretty quickly. And then too, like, I love Terminator, Predator, RoboCop. So it's like, well, I gotta get all that, but you just can't.
Let me ask you something about Funko Pop. So explain what they are supposed to be. Like what, like the material, because they, from what I understand, they make everything, literally
Everything.
TV shows, everything. So explain to me what exactly that's supposed to be. Like I own two, believe it or not, I own two, and they're exclusives from. Actually, are they Funko Pops? I don't even know. I think they are. See, that's awesome.
It's
That's
got a
like really,
diorama base. Yeah, this is one I won't get rid of. I've cut my collection down to about
meaning you've sold.
to like 25 pops. Just like the ones.
How much is one, for example?
So typically $12 for a pop. This one would be, because it's got a little bit more to it, this would be like $25. So this is a
Now,
lot easier to get into collecting and get what you want as opposed to Hot Toys, obviously. But with Hot Toys, you're getting the detail, you're getting the articulation, you know.
now, apparently there are really, really expensive pieces. I hear, but
Yeah.
like, what is expensive for a Funko Pop? Like hundreds of dollars, or like $50, or like $80?
I had the original Genie from the Robin Williams movie, and I think I sold that for $250.
And you bought it for how much?
Two, so I didn't hold on to it very long.
Wow, oh, so they do go up. Wow.
But there's like did you watch The Walking Dead?
I didn't watch it, but I know what it is.
So no, not The Walking Dead. I'm sorry. Game of Thrones. They had a headless Ned.
Okay.
So his head like would pop off. It was magnetic, and he was all bloody. And it was like it was a 3,000 pieces made. It was an exclusive,
Right.
and that thing was going for over $2,000 at one point for a Funko Pop. They have a
$2,000?
$2,000.
Wait, because it was only 3,000 made,
Yeah,
and it was how much for retail?
$12.99, $12.
Oh my god! See, so the ones I bought are from GameStop, and they were the Hulk coming out of the Hulk Buster. So they were strictly for GameStop, so exclusive to GameStop. So I bought two of them, thinking that they're only found here, so they're gonna blow up. I'm still holding on to them, hoping that one day they'll be $1 million. But I don't know. I don't know anything about them, so
I still have a Predator Pop from the original movie, and then they have an exclusive from a Comic-Con, and it's the bloody version, so it's a variant, and all they did was add some green paint here and like here, and that thing goes for like $400 plus. Just
what's
I mean,
the
I think
material? Vinyl? Is it vinyl? No.
PVC vinyl, and I think collectors sometimes just care more about the sticker and the exclusiveness of it that drives up the price. So I mean, it's kind of the same game as Hot Toys to a certain extent, but like there's no great way to display pops. Like you're putting them in the boxes, and people just line walls up, and
yes, I've seen people in the boxes, and I've seen people take them out of the boxes. They look cool too out of the box.
But the one thing I will say about Funkos that's really cool is no matter what you're into, there's a Funko Pop for it. There's Seinfeld, like TV shows,
They make
movies, sports.
Who owns that company? Like what company is that? Like somebody, I'm assuming somebody big owns that company.
It's Funko.
Because for them to get every single license, like it's got to be huge.
Yeah, I don't know, but so I always call Funko Pops like the gateway drug to Hot Toys, because it's like gets you started, and then you see Hot Toys. It's not true.
I just bought those two because the Avengers was hot, but before that, like I never even I never seen them.
But if you do like collecting Funkos, I don't look down on anybody, because
no, I don't. No, it's not a bad thing, because at the end of the day, if you're a collector, it doesn't matter where you're collecting. You're still collecting something that's cool, because they're cool. There's nothing wrong with them. Mm-hmm. But I just, like I said, I never knew anything about them, and I never saw them until recently.
I had all the Game of Thrones Funko Pops for a while, except for like
the secondary market.
Well,
since the show is so important, the show's such a big deal.
I should have gotten out before season 8 came out, because they were at the peak. Like I had a Jon Snow. It was called Snowy, or Beyond the Wall Jon Snow. Same figure as normal, but they put like glitter on him to make him look like snow. And that thing I could have gotten $800 for. No, 300. But then after season 8 came out, I his value tanked to like $70.
So you're lucky you didn't have it.
No, I did have it.
Oh,
I
you
should have
lost
sold it.
Oh, you should have sold it. You mean I got you.
I had a few that were like, I had between 3 pops I could have gotten $1,000, and then after everything died down, it was like maybe $200 total I could get for the 3. So I wound up getting out, and yeah. But anyways, we have Eddie Rodriguez in the house.
Oh man.
Says, "What's up, fellas? We got Big Dog Pound in the house. Fabs, give him a little bark." Woo! Leighton Richards, guys, please help me sell off my pops. I had 1,500. I'm down to 800. Made enough to buy 40 Hot Toys. Now I just need the balls to get rid of the rest. Dude, that's what helped me get into Hot Toys, was selling a lot of my stuff. But yeah, that's a ton. I had like just over 200 as when I topped out. So that's a lot.
Yeah, I used to be able to do that with Hot Toys. Buy Hot Toys doubles and then sell them for more Hot Toys. But those
maybe they're coming back.
No, they're not.
These small batches.
As long as that company is still alive, that'll never happen.
Right. Funko Pops have sold over $10,000.
That's insane. Which ones though? I would love to know which ones.
Yeah, there's some pretty rare ones that they're very rare, and then they're like some of the first ones ever made. I know those go for some pretty crazy money.
Yeah, because I want to know, like, is it the license? Is it what the figure looks like? Is it, I want to know what makes them so special to go up that high.
Just rarity, I would assume. Here's an interesting question from Big Dog Pound. Do you guys recommend to buy the Threezero Denarius that is available on Sideshow, or wait for the in-art announcement? Have you seen the Threezero one? I'm not a fan.
I don't even know what that is. What show is that? Is that from a show?
That's from Game of Thrones. Sorry.
Oh, I've never watched the show. That's why I don't know. Never.
Goodbye.
Not a single episode. Never. I never did. I never got into it. That, and what's the other show? There's another show that's a big deal that I never got into.
House of the Dragons?
Well, no, isn't that the new one? Yeah, that's not new. No, I'm not watching that either. Well, everybody knows I never watched what was the Wizard? Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, I don't watch that either.
Harry Potter, I never saw any of the movies. The Lord of the Rings, I never saw any of the movies. So stuff like that, and those are, very valuable stuff. Like what's that video game that's been going, it's forever.
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy. Those things go for a lot of money, and for some reason I can't get into any of it.
Wow.
Oh, that's what that is. See, I don't know. I mean, I would think, who makes this? Threezero, he said?
Yes.
See, I would think Asmus would be so much better than this.
Yeah.
Just because it's Asmus. But I don't know. I don't know either one.
Threezero does really good work, especially with non-human
stuff.
Non-humans. But yeah, their clothing is great. They've come a long way. I think some of their Game of Thrones figures look really good, but I haven't really thought that they've. How do I say this without? I want to say it right. I don't want to say nailing the ladies without getting the ladies spot on. And I don't know how do you feel about like half sculpted hair, half rooted? I don't know how I feel.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. What was the movie? Flashpoint, the Joker, the Nightmare Joker. I don't know if you remember the figure. One of the head sculpts came with like a little patch of like hair hanging here, like literally like 4 hairs, just green hairs hanging out. Like, why would you, like, what is the point of that? Like, I get the goal, but it's like horrible, so I don't think they should do it. I mean, this doesn't look terrible. It actually doesn't look bad at all. But that's the only figure that I own that has that, I think. And when I got it, I was like, I would never use this head. So I used the other one instead.
My short answer would be wait for an announcement. I did collect the Game of Thrones Threezero figures for a little bit. I only had 4 of them, but I did wind up selling them just to kind of hone in on some of other stuff. But I purposefully did not get this one because I didn't think the likeness was great. I didn't like the half and half hair. So I passed. So it's up to you in the end, but I'd maybe wait and see if InArt do they have the license for Game of Thrones? Because that would be interesting. Because if that could be a game changer.
They did mention they were going to make a few figures from this movie. I didn't know. Yeah, that's what I meant. The TV show. But I didn't know any of the names except Gandalf, and so which Gandalf is not even from the show; it's from the Lord of the Rings. But I figured it had to do with this stuff, and I was like, I don't even know what anything is, so I didn't even bother looking into it. But this has like no detail on the face whatsoever.
Right, and that's part of the problem. It just looks too toyish, too much like a Barbie. But really quick, want to say thank you to Eddie Rodriguez for the $10 super chat. Thank you, my man. I appreciate that. Appreciate the support. Helps keep the channel going. So thank you so much. We also have another super chat from Eddie Rodriguez, and he says, "Banish Fab for not watching Game of Thrones."
Eddie, you're dead to me.
Bye, Felicia. Thank you guys for the support. I do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And you guys are doing a really great job kind of just pointing us in the direction you want us to go tonight. So, yeah, just keep it up out there. 3-0 X3A Bavers Transformers are incredible. Yeah, those Transformers that they've made are pretty cool. They're not 1/6 scale, obviously, but they still have a lot of detail.
They're very detailed. The only thing is I wish that they would transform, but they're, besides that, they're really, really nice. And aren't some of them die-cast too?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Bobby Ray says, "Damn, that dragon looks pretty good." That dragon is about $1,500. That is a 3-0 statue dragon. So,
oh, wow.
And I don't know if Sideshow even has it yet. I know it was running out of stock a while back. Okay, come on. Here we go. What do you think of the price for this, Fabs?
You would pay exactly, and I don't even think it's worth that much. But again, that's what you're paying where you're getting, and $178 for that, I think that's fair. But Asmus, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be $220 plus at least.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, that's a good point, Fabs. That's something you got to take into consideration. Oh, this is something I really want but cannot afford.
What is that? A statue?
Yeah.
That looks cool. I like that. I like that throne chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sweet. If only.
Oh man.
This looks pretty cool too. This is even more expensive.
Night King.
You got to watch it. You'll like it.
See, I don't know. It makes me think of like if it would be God of War without God of War type stuff. You know what I mean? Like that type of vibe. And I love God of War, but I don't know.
Do you like Lord of the Rings?
I just said no. I never watched anything Lord of the Rings. That, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. What's the other one? That one you're talking about right now. Game of Thrones. None of those wizard things. Like I never got into any of that stuff. I don't know why. I just never did. I was always Marvel, DC, like superhero stuff. Never really anything like wizardry.
So now that I'm kind of caught up with the chat here, have you gotten any emails lately about some delays?
Oh hell yeah! I can read them to you right now. I can tell you right now what I got.
So Bo-Katan, I got my email 2 days ago or yesterday maybe.
Let me see. I'll tell you.
That's the second delay on her.
Bo-Katan is delayed. Let me see what else is delayed. Because I delete them just because I'm like, oh. Let's see who else is delayed. I had a couple delayed. Where did they go? Tell me.
Better not delay Ahsoka.
Oh, Captain America. Captain America will be delayed. So I got 2 of those coming. So I got 2 emails.
We got 1-6 Fix in the house. He says, "Yo, Graham, welcome back. Hey, good to be back."
Yeah, no, those are the 2. Those are the 2 I got so far, I guess. Yeah, no, just those 2. I thought it was. I got 3 emails. That's why I felt like a lot.
Okay. Yeah. So, what do you think? What do you think about these delays? Like, this is the second delay for Bo-Katan. Is this just par for the course, or, I mean, are they just announcing? It feels like they're announcing a lot, but they're not releasing enough to kind of keep up. Like, they're not really making up any ground, because for a while it used to be what, 50, 60 figures were announced per year. Now we're up in the 90s, but are they releasing enough to even like catch up to kind of like to do all the figures that they want to do?
I don't think they care about that because if you notice, when they release, they'll bombard you with releases. So you'll get one back to back to back to back. Sometimes you've gotten two, the same day. You'll get one the next. So is that convenient? I don't think so because, for example, for somebody who doesn't pre-order everything, let's say, that's hard on the wallet because now you got them coming, right next to each other. So it's like if you want the figures and you really want to get them and you really, oh my God, I can't miss out on these figures. How are you really going to pay $800 for, two figures or $600 for two figures or, $900 for three figures that are coming back to back to back to back? Like,
Right.
I don't think that's very smart on their part, but, they're going to do whatever they need to do to pump them out as fast as possible. But I don't think that's smart at all.
Well, and then like Single Songwriter says, next month begins Q4. Expect a lot. So there's probably going to be a lot. Like, then we get Doc Brown, who they say is coming out early, which conveniently now is going to be Q4 of 2022. Right. So
it was like something November
to December.
November to December. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess I was just wondering, like, so you think this is just kind of par for the course? Nothing to be alarmed about here. This stuff happens.
No, it's going to keep happening. This is not like just a one-time thing and, oh, it's done. We're going to catch up now. I think it's done on purpose. Like I've said, many times before, they want to keep people pre-ordering. They want to keep people, locking in new figures. And, what are you going to do? You have to wait. No matter what, you're going to have to wait. So, and they know that. They know that they're going to put up, figures that you're going to expect and want. And whenever they'll give them to you, they'll give them to you. What are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? You're going to have, you can't, it's not like you could go, oh, I could go get it early here. No, you have to wait for it to be released everywhere, So, and they know that. So they're in control at all times. But they just want to keep having you to pre-order stuff just to keep bringing money in.
Do you think with Bo-Katan, maybe it has something to do with the head sculpt, that they're just not where they want to be with it and that they just need more time to work on it? Or you think doesn't even relate to that?
That's done. I mean, people were complaining about the head sculpt. I don't think, that's what the actress looks like, just because it looks like, she has a long, no, she does, just because some angles look like, she has a long, maybe they're tweaking it, but I don't think they're going to make a huge change. So I think again, they've been doing this for a while now. It's not just that's happening, all of a sudden overnight. So no, I think it's done on purpose. And it's well known now that apparently they got even more factories to be able to do more stuff. So I think some factories are being used for, prototypes alone, I think. You know what I mean? Just to be focused on certain things and being able to give us prototypes of certain things that much quicker. But when it comes to production, I think they're doing, whatever they feel like doing. I don't think there's anything like, oh, they're affected because of this. I don't think so.
Well, and that's kind of what I've gotten from my few years of collecting is like Hot Toys has no rhyme or reason to how they do things. They just do things and it is what it is. Like, I feel like if I was running a business and they're successful, so I'm not saying they're doing it wrong, but if I was running a business, I would do things a lot differently. And like I would try to strike the iron when it's hot. Like when movies are at their peak, I would announce figures or try to release figures or stuff like that, where a movie's been out for like Endgame, we still don't have Loki. Like, do they really think Loki's going to sell amazingly great? Like, look at all of the Avengers characters that are still on Sideshow just because of how late they've come out. So, and part of that might be due to COVID, when it came out in 2019 and then COVID hit in 2020. So, I mean, I guess part of that could be COVID, but at the same time, you come out with Black Widow, and then you with the movie, and they come out with the figure pretty much right away. But then we wait like 3 or 4 months after, and they come out with Yelena when it's kind of like died down, and so it's just weird. I've never really understood, and then like you come out with announcements during Star Wars Day or something like that, and sometimes they do, but sometimes it's just like they tease things and then we never see it.
Right.
Batmobile, geez, Star Wars. Come on.
What do you mean Star Wars? Star Wars what? Vehicle?
No, who'd they tease? Who'd they tease during Star Wars week? Samuel L. Jackson's character. Somebody help me here.
Oh, Mace Windu.
Mace Windu, and then
What
like
the hell was this supposed to be?
he got his arm cut off.
Yeah, but that's not tell me what figure you're talking about. Unbelievable.
So I don't know, but yeah, let me check back in here. So Big Dog Pound says he's fixing his fantasy football lineup. If anybody out there wants to do, like, maybe next year we can do this. We could do like a Jedi Knights Watch fantasy football league, and I could pick like 11 of you to be in it with me. Maybe Fabs would do it. I know he's a big football fan.
I've never done a fantasy football league ever in my whole life.
If you want to talk about stuff that's addicting, it's fantasy football.
You bet money on it or no?
I mean, yeah, we have buy-ins and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I never.
My big league is $100 buy-in, but it's really $107 because you have to pay to get the ads off the app, and then it's $5 per person that you add, like a free agent. So it gets pretty expensive. And I took over an orphan team who was dead last. So like, not only am I paying all this money to play, but I'm taking over a team that sucks, and I got to rebuild it because I'm in 3 dynasty leagues. But I would do a redraft with you guys. I just haven't done a redraft in like 6 or 7 years because once you do dynasty, it's like franchise mode on Madden. So, yeah, if you guys want to do that, hit me up. And
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about right now because I never understood it. I mean, not that anybody ever explained it to me because I never. I played football in high school, and that was about it. But I never got into any of that stuff.
What you have to do is get into a league or two, and then get NFL Red Zone, because there's no commercials. All they do is go to the game that they're about to score at. You don't miss any scoring highlights, and then you're like constantly just on adrenaline, waiting for your guy to score and stuff like that.
It's like waiting for Hot Toys to make an announcement. Same thing.
Yeah, but you're not waiting as long. Okay, let's see. You guys are busy in the chat. Here's a good one. What's your most anticipated figure?
There's so many, but I can't wait. So the Venomized Iron Man was one of them. Finally got here. That thing is amazing. That's not out yet. I want to say Cable. I've been waiting for Cable. Still not out. It's probably coming anytime. I'm really looking forward to that Iron Man Deadpool, that big figure. That's like $500. It's like an Iron Man it's a Deadpool style Iron Man with the swords and everything. That figure it looks amazing. I like stuff like that. So, what about you?
For me, it's going to be the Batman figure, the Pattinson Batman.
Oh,
I need that one.
The
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer one, yeah. And Robin.
I'm not getting that one. I'm a big Batman fan, and I'm not getting that one.
Too. I forgot. Those 2 are delayed as well.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Because those have been on pre-order for quite a while, it seems.
Yep.
Yeah. Are you getting I shouldn't. That was a dumb question. I'm not asking if you're getting that because I know you are.
I'm getting 2 of each just because. But what I don't like about those is those bases. Those bases are so useless. And I figured, they have to give you bases like that to make up for not giving you much for the figures. But it's like, just give me something like better, man. Like not those big square, because those come from, I don't know if you know, they're the 1989, Batman bases and the Joker bases, the big squared ones.
Just recycled.
Yeah, it's just like wow, and the last time I saw those being used, they didn't even put the lights in because the original ones come with the lights.
See, that rubs me the wrong way. If you're gonna use that base, cover it up with plastic.
Yeah.
You know, they cover up the battery housing and they seal it up, but it's like,
Yeah.
to me that's just like half-assed.
Yeah.
My other most anticipated figure. I mean, I'm really looking forward to Ahsoka, Peacemaker, with the update. Now I don't even know if I'll get him because he's already on waitlist.
Peacemaker, you'll get him, believe me. If
What do you think's going to happen with that?
Well, I mean,
you think it's going to all of a sudden magically appear back in stock?
Well, it's been happening. All of a sudden, I don't know if you saw. I think the Hulkbuster came back out of nowhere. So it's. I don't know if it's a game they're playing. I don't know if what they're trying to do is make you feel like, well, you guys are not pre-ordering much, so our items are going to be selling out quicker or going going out of stock soon quicker. And so I don't know if what they're trying to create is a fear and make people say, you know what, let me just be safe and pre-order. So I don't have to worry about it not being in stock by the time it comes out, because it's happened to a few figures already within the past week, multiple figures. So I don't know if it's a game they're playing. And every figure that they did that to, for some reason, like even when they waitlisted, a few of them came back in stock. I don't know how many, but they came back. So I don't know if that's what they're doing as a game. I don't know if they're really, selling out quickly. Like specifically this, for example, that a lot of people are not getting this figure. That.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even Peacemaker.
So, right. So this figure right here and Thena as well. So everybody knew from the get-go, the movie saw, I like the movie. I'm not saying that I said it, but a lot of people, the movie wasn't that good. Who's going to buy those figures? Are they going to make the whole line? Blah, blah, blah. So, I personally thought that they were going to sit for a long time, So the moment they announced her and then him, and I forget which one came first. I think it was him first. To give us that and then to show low stock remaining, what does that say? Are they putting that on purpose to say, come buy it right now? You know what I mean? Like it's running out. Come buy some. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to play with people to say, oh man, it's running out. Let me go get it. Because I feel like they're noticing that there's a lot of people who are very afraid of the whole, oh my God, it's selling out. Let me get it now. They wait. I feel like they're noticing that a lot of people are waiting until the items are released to be able to get them. So to avoid that, they're saying, okay, well, low stock for now, so people go and jump for it. You know what I mean? So I think that's what's happening.
Yeah. I mean, you can say some of it would be low batch, and I could even understand maybe even the quarter scale Boba Fett because it's quarter scale, so they're probably not going to make as much as they would like a 6 scale version.
Right.
But then you go to...
And it being Boba, and being from the show Boba, so it's all that... all these things add up to how popular and how wanted these figures are going to be. Right. Depends on the line, depends on the figure, depends on, what the figure looks like, depends on all these things. But something like, the Eternals, I think it's just a different, they don't even come with anything. If they came with a bunch of accessories, that'd be a different story.
Right.
But Gilgamesh alone comes with what? Hands?
Right. I think that's it.
So that makes a figure not so wanted by anybody.
One and two, like you have a Green Goblin, which I know some people are freaking out about, but it's the one without the base. So I'm assuming that they're doing like really low quantities of this figure because most people are probably going to buy it with the base, I would assume.
What do you mean with the base? With the glider?
The glider, yeah, sorry. My apologies.
Well, no, I thought you meant like there was like a fancier base.
No, just the glider.
Because we're getting that now, as you know.
Right.
We're getting all these reissues with a different base, and it's like,
that's getting a little. I mean, I'm all for a diorama base. I just don't know how I feel about coming out with a figure Coming
Like
out
the
with
Mark, the Mark
yeah,
5.
months after you just released it, and then coming out with
Yes,
another one.
and it's still. I think it's still on sale on Sideshow, isn't it? Like you can still get it on Sideshow, the Mark 5.
I believe so.
Yeah, so why would you reissue with just there you go with a different base? Like that to me, that's redundant. I don't think I don't think the base is gonna make and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the base. I love the base. I think the base is sick, but are you really gonna get it? No, I already have two. I have the original. Now I got the reissue. I can tell you right now, unless the thing sits there forever and it's like 50% off, I'm not going to get it. Because either way, even if I get it, I'm not going to display the base anywhere because I have nowhere to put it anyway, So I'm not going to bother with the third one.
Well, and it's an exclusive to what? Is it just Asia? The one with the diorama base? It's an exclusive.
Right.
So is it not going to be offered over here? Like on Sideshow and stuff?
I don't know, and I don't even care. It doesn't even, like I said, I don't care for it anyway. Like I said, the base is cool, but even for the Mark 46, the Shanghai exclusive, I have every single Iron Man there is. I have two of the original Civil War Mark 46s with the head sculpts, with the Tony Stark bruised eye head sculpts. So to reissue a figure, tweak the body a little bit, but no head sculpt and give a massive base, I think that's a ripoff. I think that's a cop out. So I didn't even bother, And I love exclusives. I've gotten, most of the exclusives, if not all of them. But it's like, man, like enough is enough,
I try to only have one Iron Man in my collection, but man, I love this Mark V suit. And if I would add another Iron Man, it probably would be this one. I love this is the silver and the cherry red along with it too, like no gold. I think that looks so cool. It's like a slimmer design as well.
Yep, it's one of the nicer suits, and I'm surprised that they didn't make this into a neon tech because this is a neon tech would be amazing.
Yeah. Do you think people will ever get sick of all the like Iron Man and Spider-Man variants? Do you think Hot Toys will ever have to move off of that and find something else that they just kind of make their cash cow?
No, I don't think so. I think because number one, apparently Iron Man is super, super popular in Asia, so they're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? That's not happening. So they and I could guarantee also that's part of their deal with Marvel and Disney, and you got to get as many as this just to keep the character relevant and popular, and so I don't think that's ever going to stop unless for whatever reason they're done with that license for good. But it makes them so much money, and the thing is, because there's so many marks to begin with, you could do literally, like for example, the House Party Protocol marks, that whole Iron Man 3 movie. There are so many different suits that you could literally. A lot of them are if you don't know them, if you don't have them, if you haven't seen them, they're all Mark 7s, just a different paint color. So you could do that to every single mark. Look at that old school looking one, the comic one. That's a cool figure. That's a new style of Iron Man. You could go crazy with Iron Man, with colors, with suits, with different add-ons, with design. Look at that greenish one right there. That one. How cool is that? Yeah, it's a Mark. What is it? A Mark 85? It's a Mark 85. Yeah. But look at that color scheme. How cool is that going to look on a shelf? So they could keep doing this forever, and they could give you this now in a black and gray, a black and white, a blue and red. They could give you any color combination, and oh my God, this is cool. That's a really cool combination of colors, and you're going to buy it. So that's why it's an easy thing for them to constantly keep making.
That's a good point. I mean, I don't think they do as well, obviously, over here in the States, because obviously we can see how they sit on Sideshow for a while. But yeah, from what I heard, it's the thing in Asia.
I have a question. This guy Fabs Conspiracies is the one pretending to be me in other groups. I would love to know who you are, because I think you should kind of like not do this.
Right.
Like, that's kind of creepy if you ask me. Like, why would you somebody, it was P-Rock's stream. They asked a question, and I was in the stream that day, and I just happened to leave, and then I get a message from somebody saying, "Oh, are you in the chat?" I was like, "What chat?" And they're like, "Oh, P-Rocks," and I was like, "No." They're like, they asked you a question, and somebody answered as if it was you, and why? Like, who? Like, get a life, man. Seriously.
Be
Well,
your
go
own
ahead.
person, everybody. Be your own. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing with Spider-Man too. Like, I guess sometimes I get a little bit nauseated with sometimes the announcements. But I'm not a Spider-Man collector. I'm not a Iron Man collector. I like to have one of each, to show off in the collection. But like this, I do want this one too. But
Yeah. Did you see? I posted in my group. I don't know if you saw. There was a third party Iron Man, Spider-Man head that's like a more comic book look.
okay,
Did you see it? It
no, I
looks
didn't.
really cool. Yeah, it looks really nice. It looks really, really cool. Like big eyes,
Yeah,
like big bug eyes, and then like a
okay.
smaller head.
Are you gonna try and get the D23 Spider-Man from Disney?
I would love to. I don't know where. It's definitely not coming to Sideshow. And if it is, I would be again just as shocked as I was with the because when in the streams I would say about is it coming to Sideshow? I'm like from my experience of collecting for as long as I have, exclusives have always been exclusives.
Right.
And so the fact that they were even offered on Sideshow, I was like, whoa, I was like, this is a big deal. I was like, this is a big deal because this has never happened before. The D23 Captain America, I didn't even know it was out until I think years later. And I got it years later, used for a decent price. So I would, do I want it? Absolutely. Am I going to be able to get it? I have no idea how, because right now they're like $800 on eBay. So I'm not.
Yeah, I've seen them selling for over 1,000 as well.
Yeah. So I'm not paying that much, but yeah, I definitely want it because it looks really, really cool. And the only thing that I think could happen, I mean, I don't know, which again I doubt it because the D23 release only. If I don't know if you noticed that it has exclusive, accessories.
Yep.
Maybe they'll take off those accessories and make it a regular version to go to Sideshow. I'd rather that than not get it at all. So we'll see.
So with all of these Star Wars, Marvel, Spider-Man, Iron Man figures, I know back in the day before I was collecting, and I think you're the perfect person to ask this to because you've been collecting forever when we used to get more Predator figures, Terminator figures, maybe even Alien figures. Do you think do you think Hot Toys has somewhat become like a slave to Disney? Like that they just kind of, I guess what I'm saying is, are they just kind of like a slave to Disney now where they just focus on Disney stuff and push that through because that's what sells? Or do you think they'll ever focus back on the Terminator stuff and the other one-off stuff? Or do you think this is just the way of the future?
Yes, and yes. So they have to be mainstream. That's what that was their goal. I'm assuming from as a company, if you start off making little figures here and there, random figures, random characters here and there, your goal is to eventually hit it big with the big names, Marvel, DC. I think now that he's at that level, why would he want to stop? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's why he still dabbles with random figures. The Asian movie that we just saw. What is it? Something of Tomorrow. Those two Asian figures that just came out.
I know what you're talking about.
With the exosuits.
Yep.
That's not mainstream for us. I didn't even know what the movie is. I know nothing about them. Like you mentioned, Terminator. They just remade. They did RoboCop a few years ago. They just came out with RoboCop 3. So I think that they'll do this, here and there just to keep, other lines included in their stuff. Future Wars. Thank you, Pablo. So I don't think that's ever going to stop, but it's not going to be something that they're going to focus on because they don't need to. You know what I mean?
Right.
They make enough money with everything else that's mainstream, and that's why they focus on that. Even though it bothers us because that's all we see. Marvel, DC here and there, Marvel, random figure out of the blue, Marvel. So does it get annoying for people? Absolutely. Me, it doesn't bother me at all. But people who, for example, don't like Marvel, there are people who don't focus on Marvel at all. And all you see is, an announcement of Marvel, it annoys them because, man, I want to collect, but this is all they're focusing on. But no, I think they're going to continue with. I have a feeling that at some point you're going to see, just like Terminator came out, RoboCop came out of nowhere. You're going to see a Terminator at some point as well.
Yeah, I mean, some of those Terminator figures, they could use a facelift and a reissue. So, I mean, that would be pretty cool. On the other hand, I could see collectors not being happy about it because at least with that kind of stuff, you're getting more of like an exclusive figure, something that maybe holds its value a little bit more until that reissue comes. Because, like, I bet some people were pissed when the RoboCop 3, figure came out because now they're like, oh, great, my RoboCop figure probably now isn't going to sell for as much. So I could see it going both ways, but I'm really excited for that RoboCop figure because I really want that bluish tint armor, where it's a little bit different from the first movie. And if I saw the faceplates correctly, they do look like they're the same faceplates as this RoboCop figure here, like the RoboCop 1. I mean, if they keep it like, and it looks like the RoboCop 1 figure, that's a great stand-in for people that don't have it.
Yep.
Because like I've seen the original RoboCop 3 figure and it's old and it's not great. And
you mean the one I showed, the Hot Toys one?
Yeah, the really old one.
Yeah,
I don't like that
no
one.
detail on the face at all. It's like short and stumpy.
The neck is not proportionate. Yep. But this one is like just a work of art. I love that figure.
Yeah, no, the new one, forget it. The updated one with the it's got die cast as well. Really nice figures. Even the gun, for them to make the gun out of like die cast, that heavy, that heavy gun that it comes, because it comes with the plastic one and then the heavy one. That's it's a great idea. So RoboCops, I think, are going to come. Terminators are going to come, I think, updated. With the new bodies, obviously new head sculpts, new updated head sculpts, new updated hair styles and all that stuff. Believe me, they'll make their money with those as well, just like they're trying to do with RoboCop.
I think the only one I might be a little bit salty if they do reissues the DX13, because that's like I paid a lot of money for that. I went backwards on that bad boy.
They'll if anything, I think they'll make the T2 Terminator before the the original one. You remember that with the original one there was two versions that you could get out of the one figure. The one with the punk rocker sleeveless shirt, and then with I guess with the jacket on. I think they'll do because it's a more iconic, the T2. When he was a good guy,
right.
The T800 as a good guy. So I think they'll do that. They'll do an updated version of that first.
Do you think there is such a thing as, I guess what we call grails for Hot Toys? Like, can we consider anything a grail anymore? Because we've seen RoboCop reissue, Batman reissues, Back to the Future reissues, even some. We've seen some Star Wars ones too. I'm thinking kind of like DX with a DX7. We're getting another. It's not a reissue, I guess, but like, do you think there is still a thing as like grails?
So from when the time that I started collecting, a grail was considered, because again, there were grails because Hot Toys at the time was not making as many pieces, right? They were very limited. And once they sold out, good luck. You were buying them for double on eBay, double, sometimes triple. So it made them grails to the person finally being able to get them over time because they were that limited, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think grail has become a personal thing. You know what I mean? I think they're always going to be grails for the person. You know what I mean? I think that everybody's going to have their own grails and call them grails for themselves.
Right.
But grails back then were grails. A figure called the grail was a grail for everybody because not everybody was able to get it. Now, with the amounts of figures that they make, there is no grail for everybody. There are only personal grails. So the term grail being thrown around does not have the same meaning as it did years ago when Hot Toys was not making any die-cast anything. It was straight plastic figures. It was, figures like, I don't know if you guys know, the 300 Leonidas. That was a grail for everybody. The Blade figure, the Blade 2 figure, that was a grail for everybody. So figures like that were grails back then because of the fact that they were very, very limited, very expensive when they sold out if you didn't pay retail for them. And you were lucky if you paid retail because, again, they would sell out pretty quickly. And a lot of people that got it, that were getting, like for myself, I bought those figures on eBay. I didn't buy them on Sideshow for retail, So even then, those were considered even more grails for myself because, wow, I finally got them. Yeah, I had to pay $500, but I got it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was a grail for people who got them just period, for retail. And then it was even more of a meaningful piece for people who were able to get it, knowing how limited they were, knowing how rare they were. So I think that's where the definition has changed of the meaning of the word grail. But I think that there's always going to be grails, but they're going to be specific to the person, not for the entire community.
No, that's a good point. A grail is technically defined as a thing that is being earnestly pursued or sought after. So it would be something that you really don't have and it's really hard to achieve.
Right.
But I understand, yeah, like you said, that word's been kind of changed to be like your personal grail, something that you maybe had to really pursue hard and seek for a while, but then you finally got it. So it's like your grail. So I get it. I get it, how it's changed and what it means. And we're going to talk about that, I think, in a little bit of what maybe one or two of our personal grails are. But Joao says, do you guys feel that everyone is going after predators now? Years ago, no one cared about them. They were in stock forever. I had 3. Now I'm down to 2. I sold one. I mean, I feel like, I guess I don't know, because I feel like their prices are still hovering in like the 3 to 400 range, unless you want I think it's the Ancient Predator, and he's like $600 because he comes with the alien head on the spear. Do you have that one? I have 2, mother.
No, I have one. The Predators back then, Predators and Terminators and stuff, I wasn't buying like too many like doubles. The Terminators I had to because you could get different looks out of them, but Predators only one of each. And the only one I have 2 of is the original Predator, so I could display.
Okay.
Because remember that it came with the cool base. So I have one on that base without the helmet on, and then I have one with the helmet on. So that one I have 2 of, but everything, you want me to pull it out? I have them all.
Sure. And part of it could be because of the new movie Prey that came out on Hulu with the new Predator movie, which I thought was actually pretty decent. So if you guys haven't seen that, check it out. But it would be great if the Predator figures could make a comeback. I think they're really cool to clan build if that's something you're into. I think people that have Predator figures, like if I could have a whole Maja case of Predator figures, I would. I just can't budget for it. But I think they look cool together, especially if they did like, all the Predator 2 figures. So yeah, there's some pretty cool figures. It's weird because I think they sell well on the secondary market, but I think they're still kind of like a behind the scenes figure. Like people are kind of more worried about Star Wars and Marvel where they don't think about it, but then there's that smaller group that still loves to collect the Predator figures. So I kind of regret selling my Elder Predator, but it is what it is.
The thing with the Predators, though, hold on, let me get the base real quick. But the thing with the Predators is, it's like everything else. It's a trend,
Right.
People right now are into the trend because of the movie. So a lot of people who are actually looking for those figures right now, some obviously never had the figures, but a lot of them did have the figures and they sold them, which, a lot of people do in the hobby. And that's one of the things that like I hate, I don't even think about because, these things, everything's a cycle and they'll become, a thing eventually again, like RoboCop did, Terminator will again, Predators will again. So that's what happens. And so here it is.
Which one is that one?
Ancient. See?
You got yourself a sack of cash right there. Yeah, that thing is it's expensive.
And look at the base.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So so this, I would never, even if for whatever reason they're not worth a lot of money or whatever, they're worth more to me being in my collection together, like having every single Predator, than me saying, oh, it's going for $1,000. Let me make $800 profit, and then not have it anymore, and then throwing off my collection. So that's my mentality when it comes to collecting.
Single Songwriter wants to know if you have the Dutch figure.
I have 2 of those.
You do?
Yeah, so let me explain why. So what happened was I bought one, and it was not enough because, as you know, he's got the 2 looks. He's got the one with the shirt on, and then he's got the one without. You could get both looks, one with the shirt off, one with the shirt on. So what happened was I bought one, and I was like, oh man, I need the other one. And it took me years to get the other one. So what happened was I was on eBay and I bought it for, it was like $170 because it was broken. So what I ended up doing was swapping out the body. And back then, when those figures were popular, it wasn't uncommon to, shout out to Uncommon Flex. It wasn't uncommon to body swap. People are customizing a lot. So what I did was I bought a Hot Toys muscular body that they were selling at the time, on their own, and I made a custom of him using the original parts, except obviously the leg was broken on the body. So I swapped the body out. And let me grab it for you so you can see it. So it's really cool. So I kept it.
Don't bump that table.
I kept them both, so I'll show you the original one, and I'll show you the
what figure I wish I still had was the Crow figure, but I wound up selling it just because of all the pleather, and it wasn't peeling at the time. But that's the figure I would love to have, but I don't want to worry about the pleather. And I know all about conditioning and stuff like that, but I just
those got rid. So I'm going to show you the original one. So this is, full body, regular body. He's got the cigar.
Oh, that's the one you're selling me. Cool.
See? Yeah. So he's got, the grenades. He's got, everything. I had the handgun on him, right? So that's the regular one, the original one that nothing happened to. That was the first one I got. And then this is the custom I made by swapping the body out. Hold on. So this is the Hot Toys muscular body that they were selling at the time. So to be able to display him, because the other one had the broken leg, look at the arms. So it doesn't look terrible. This is all we had to work with back then. Look, that even the neck is way too long.
Looks like a giraffe.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how, that's all we had to work with back then. But, that's why I have 2 of them. See, original base, everything for both is just I had to swap the body because the other one was broken, and you couldn't get the bodies that came with the figures, the original bodies that came with the figures. They didn't have them for sale, so they had stuff like this. And I show this all the time. This is straight from Hot Toys. They used to be called True Type, and this is a regular body. Then they started making narrow shoulder bodies. Then they started making muscular bodies. Then they started making the bodies that they use for Wolverine, which had like chest hair and stuff. So they had different types of bodies, all the for years, and so a lot of people were customizing because again, I say this all the time. This is the golden era of collecting for Hot Toys.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting figures left and right. Back then there was no such thing. So and they knew that. So instead of making people wait so long for the next figure, they give us bodies to make our own figures, to customize, to make kit bashers, to do this, to do that. So that's why, it was easier for us to, you broke your figure, let me body swap, real quick because we were able to use Hot Toys bodies for the figures.
Well, that's really cool. I didn't know all that stuff, but I would still take that first Dutch figure that you showed. So you can just package that really nice for me and
Just
send it on
carefully bubble wrap it for you.
over.
Oh man. But
Single
yeah, no,
songwriter also
what do
said
you
eventually the figures we have now will become grails later on, just like the original trilogy figures that came out in 2015-16. Just takes time as less and less show up in markets. I agree to a
yeah.
certain extent, but I also think that they're starting to reissue some of these.
Well, the thing about that is, and specifically with this hobby, and I've said this before as well, in any other collecting hobby, whether it's cars, whether it's real cars um or Matchbox cars or whatever, anything collecting, the original ones are always the best, no matter what it is. They're just, you want the originals always, no matter what. In
True.
this hobby, though, once there's a reissue, nobody looks back. Nobody wants the old stuff anymore. Everybody just wants the new stuff. Why? Number one, it could be because they're more expensive. Okay. Even though they're not, like, for example, you go look for a figure that's, worth nothing right now compared to, the new bodies, the updated head sculpts, all that stuff. You'll be paying $300 and up for an old figure, when now you could get one for 270, 250, 260, 270, 280 for a new updated head sculpt, updated body, better quality clothes, all that stuff. So why would anybody go backwards? You know what I mean? Another thing, the old bodies of Hot Toys are not the new bodies. So they're a lot more delicate than what they are now. It happened to me. You could grab a figure that you haven't touched in forever. You go grab it and it just literally, the joint would just dissolve and break off for no reason. It's not like you're sitting there playing with it. It just happened. So why would anybody risk going backwards right now and getting an Avengers figure from the first, from the original movie line and have that happen to them? I'd rather just be sure that the new one's going to be better and just spend that money there. And I'm saving money because it's cheaper than the old one. So I think that's what happens in the hobby with old figures. And again, that whole top line is all Avengers 1. I will never get rid of it unless I'm done with the hobby and I'm completely out of it and ready to sell everything. That's when I sell everything. But to sell, let me try to sell here, especially now with the market, forget it. It's not even worth it.
I think you're right. I think we all look forward in this hobby because we all want the most, accurate to the character or to the person. We want the best, the most articulation. We want the improvements because the reason we're in this hobby is because we want it to be basically as lifelike as possible in the 6th scale version. So yeah, that's a good point. Like typically you want the beginning of something, but
you always want the original. Like, for example, the DeLorean, the car, the real car. They're remaking it, electric, I think. Why would anybody, anybody looking for that car, they're still looking for the original. Everybody wants it. Everybody would love an original DeLorean. Why? Compared to what we have now, it's a piece of crap. But people want the original. Same thing with oh my god, what's the car brand? Like a Viper, the Dodge Viper, right? The old Vipers are worth tons of money. They look nothing like the new ones. The new ones are more aerodynamic. They look sexier. Just look, bigger wheels, obviously safer. But people who know about cars and collect cars want the old stuff. They want the original stuff. And that's just in every collecting hobby except this one.
That's a good point. That's interesting. Something to think about. Yeah, because I'm trying to think. I mean, even the original Predator. Like, I think everybody likes the Jungle Hunter classic, maybe a little bit better because it's just that updated body. Maybe the head sculpt's a little bit better. So like the technology on it's just better too. So you kind of forget about the original. Nobody cares about the DX2 Batman anymore. We had the DX12 and now we're up to the DX19. So you barely even hear about that anymore. DX1 was what, the Joker? I think Dark Knight Joker.
You're talking about the Dark Knight, yeah.
So,
so for example, good point. and I have all of them. The DX02 compared to the newer one after that, completely different body, completely, thin, short, and that's the one you got the night vision eyes with. And again, the scale compared to the new one to just the next one after, night and day. And then obviously what is it? The last one was the DX19.
Yep.
That one's even bigger than the other two. So that's the point. So why would anybody want to go backwards for the old ones when the scale is completely off now due to the updating of these bodies, and that's what happened. So the hobby, Hot Toys kills itself by doing that, but it's not a bad thing because you're getting figures that you want anyway in a more rugged way, a better body that you could actually move around and articulate and pose, and the old figures couldn't handle all that stuff.
Well, and I don't think they're killing themselves because if they wait long enough, you're buying that old one, then you're buying the new one. But I think that when they kill themselves is if they do something like the Mark V, where you come out with a figure.
No. I didn't mean kill themselves in a bad way. I meant kill themselves as in like nobody's gonna want to go backwards because of that. You know what I mean? Right. I don't mean like they're killing themselves with money because they're making that money no matter what. But I'm saying kill themselves, meaning killing the way of people thinking, let me go back for this because this is a meaningful, this was the very first one. So it's very, very important to get the first one. That's what I mean. It doesn't, nobody does that.
The only other thing I can think of is maybe video games. Like, you know how you had this 8-bit, 64-bit, and how like video games are so much better nowadays. But then going back to the retro stuff, it becomes cool again, and people want to collect that because it was the original stuff. So maybe eventually like the really old Hot Toys figures will be like that. I don't know though, because are you going to want to display it like in 10 years when we get the next Dark Knight trilogy Batman? Are you going to want to display the DX2? I mean, you still display all of yours, correct?
Everything, they're literally right next to each other, and it is what it is. What am I going to do? I'm going to throw it out.
So maybe too, it's something where you could have one next to the other because you can see where they started and where they kind of ended up, and just kind of see the variation there too. And it's just kind of cool to see that starting point. So
that's what I did when I got the DX19. I put them all together. I don't know if you saw the pictures that I put up. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I do, and that's why I'm happy that I never sold my old stuff, because a lot of people again weren't around for the old days where these figures look the way they look compared to what we're getting now. Mm-hmm. So just height alone, you could see the difference. Bases were so basic. Everything was oval, which again, I love those bases, so I'm not even talking bad about it. But now, to give you, I guess, more value and be able to charge you more, they're giving you these rectangular, hexagon shaped bases. They're giving you these dioramic bases. And again, to be able to charge you more money. Is it necessary? Maybe, if that's what you're looking for. But bodies alone, night and day.
The other thing too, maybe you could think of is like, let's say I was around for the DX2, but now I upgraded to the DX12, and then I got rid of that and I upgraded to the DX19. Maybe it becomes such a long period of time since the DX2 that it does become just a nostalgic thing or a sentimental thing where I'm like, oh, I kind of want to get that DX2 back just because
no.
It was one of the first figures I was collecting, and you don't think that'll ever happen?
No, and I'm going to tell you, I'm speaking from my own experience. So one of the first figures that I got was that Joker from that movie, from The Dark Knight. And I bought it, and I bought it for like 170, 180, whatever it was, used. And then this is when I was first starting to buy everything off of eBay. And I ended up seeing that within a few weeks, it had gone up in price. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, let me sell and make, $40, $50, whatever it was. And obviously back then the eBay fees were not what they are now. So, I made that little bit of money. I sold it right away. Do I regret selling it? Absolutely. Because I wish I had it to be able to compare it with everything else. Am I going backwards for it? Absolutely not. And it would be more meaningful to me than anybody else, I would think. Because I not only did I have it, but I have every other Joker figure to compare it with. But am I going back or spend $300 something, $400, whatever it is, for an old figure like that looks the way it looks compared to everything we have now? Absolutely not. So that's what happens.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Fabs, you always have the good points. That's why we got you here. So, to kind of end the night, we've been kind of talking about grails and stuff a little bit, and we kind of wanted to bring a figure in, or maybe even two figures in, and just show you guys kind of like what our personal grail in our collection is. Some It's not necessarily our favorite figure, right? It's just kind of one of our biggest grails. Like maybe it took us a while to achieve, or it was really expensive or hard to find. But before we show you guys the grails that we have in our collection, is there a figure, a grail that you're still pursuing that you don't have yet? And what would it be?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, the one I just showed on my stream, that the 16 pieces made. I would love that figure. Oh man, I would love that. And again, the oldest figure in the world right now. Nobody cares about it. It's a Mark 6 with Tony's head. I think it was like the first generation light up base, an Avengers hexagon base, and just because of the fact that it's that limited, I want it. I'm not actively looking for it on eBay or anything, but if I ever come across it, pops up somewhere, and I'm not going to spend $500, $600 on it either. But if I could get it for a decent price, absolutely. I need that one. I need there was another one that I needed that I'm looking for. What the hell was it? The silly things Mark III gunmetal Iron Man figure. Again, this thing is nothing compared to what we're getting now. Like nothing. It's crappy. But those colors, that gunmetal, I love gray. I love gunmetal. So I just know, and it looks all weathered and all beat up, all scratched. So I love that look, and I would love to have it, next to. I have that same color Mark IV. It was called I think it was called Milk. It was secret version or secret something Mark IV. Secret Project. It was Secret Project Mark IV. It was all, again, gunmetal color with Tony Stark's head, the sunglasses in gray, not the red Mark IV glasses, but they came in red specifically, in gray specifically. So figures like that, I would love to get, but I think that one is the Mark III is about $1,200 to $1,500 on eBay right now. I would never.
One that I'm pursuing is Yondu. Man, that's probably one of the best head sculpts that Hot Toys has come out with, and I'm a big Guardians of the Galaxy fan, so Yondu would be one of my ultimate grails to achieve. And I have looked high and low for damn near 2 years on eBay for that thing. I've been close to pulling the trigger, and I couldn't throw down that kind of dough. So it's
like $600 sometimes.
Yep. Another one would be Ripley from Aliens. I think it's from Aliens.
Yeah.
That one would be cool. I'd love to add her into the collection.
That's the last one with the cat and stuff?
Yep.
Yeah.
But she's going for anywhere $4 to $6 as well. $450 to $6.
Yeah.
And then Drax. Even though the figure itself doesn't look good anymore, it doesn't hold up. I really just, again, Guardians of the Galaxy, I would love to have a Drax character in my collection. But I don't want to pay that kind of money for the figure which I have problems with.
You want to know something funny?
I
would usually get, for some reason, during that time I was getting doubles of stuff, but Yondu. You want to know why I didn't get doubles of Yondu? Do you remember he came with two head sculpts? Did he come with two head sculpts? No, he didn't.
He came with two fins.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, should I get two just to change the one, to have one fin and one without? And I was like, it's not a big deal. So I didn't even get it. Do I regret that? 1,000,000% every single day.
Every day?
Because I could have, every time I look over there, I'm like, man, I should have had those two. Because you could display it, one without the jacket, with the vest, and then one with the jacket, and then with the fin. So, man, I regret that all the time. But yeah, that's why I don't have two of him. I wish I did.
Single songwriter, it's old Ben Kenobi. I was able to get him for a decent price a few months back, so I'm glad to have him. Actually, pretty much traded my Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan to get old Ben, and haven't looked back. Good for health. Anakin and Obi-Wan. Pablo says his personal grail is CGL Resistance Leader. So happy when it came up on OSRBST. Andre's still pursuing the DX3 MJ. Missed a chance recently because it was just too pricey. And that's what happens. Like, we're so close to pulling the trigger, but then I think the conscience kind of kicks in and just like, yeah, I just can't do it. Yeah, can't touch Yondu for less than $5. Yeah, I was close when I saw him around $5, and then I'm just like, I just can't.
Yeah, no, it hurts, man. It hurts because, it's a cool figure, but it's an older figure now. And it's like, man, do I really want to spend all that money when you know that for that same amount, you could get like 2 Hot Toys new figures right now.
Right. And that's a tough pill to swallow. Yeah. S-Beam, I just recently scored a Drax on a trade. Nice. What do you think about the figure? Do you like it? Is it worth getting? I'd still love to add them. I don't know if they're ever going to reissue that one because I think just with Dave Bautista's rights, I don't know if there's issues there.
Did you see the third-party one that came out with it comes with a jacket, some type of vest?
No. Who made that one?
So I don't know the name of the company, but it's a new company that just came out of nowhere. Look it up. It's called I'll tell you right now because I posted it in my group.
Jackdaw?
Kit Chen. Kit Chen has it. What was it?
Jackdaw?
Maybe. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think so. Here.
Put it up. Put it up. If it has a vest, that's it. Because the pictures, the promo pictures, yep, that's it.
Oh, it's on. Yeah.
And apparently people are asking, oh, if you take the jacket off, is the whole, the tattoos on the whole body? They were like, yep.
It looks
just like the Hot Toys Drax.
Right.
Yeah, so there's your chance.
Oh, man.
Yep. There's absolutely nothing different about it. Obviously, it's not.
Looks like it's the same.
Yeah, same body. It looks
same
exactly
sculpt and everything, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And you remove the jacket, and there you go. You got the whole figure right there.
So pre-order Jackdaw.
You could get it from Kit Chen if you need it.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm gonna keep this up, and I'm gonna do that because that would be. I don't care if it's
No,
it'll
look, if you have all of the other ones, it'll look great together.
Right. Man. Single Songwriter says he likes all the Game of Thrones, all the Guardians of the Galaxy figures. Just never want to go down that road because I know I would never get them all. True. I think I'm missing just Yondu and Drax. I really wish they would make a Mantis. I don't think she'll ever get out of the graveyard though.
I think they'll make her. I think it'll be one of those figures out of left field that nobody expected. You know what I mean? It's not going to be something like even in this movie, in this Thor movie, she looked different. She had like a new head thing like on her forehead or something. I don't think they're going to make that version. I think they'll give us the regular version first, and that's why I got. I don't know if you could see. I have a custom one of those customs that I put together with those what are those bodies called?
Fison
bodies, yeah, female Fison body, and then I put the kit. It was a nightmare to put together, but I have her now. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter when he wears a vest. We're getting another Drax. Not, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Maybe when that gets a little closer, who knows? But that's not going to be till next year.
Yeah, we got to get another one.
Right. And S-Beam says we may get one with the third. Yeah. So I think that's next summer.
Yeah. No, he's
got DT Artman in the house. What's going on? All right. So now for our grails in our collection. I don't have mine here. Do you want me to go grab them?
Go ahead. Are
you going to grab yours?
They're right behind me.
All right. I'll be right back.
Well, yeah, no, that's like the one thing about me not liking or wanting to sell my stuff because I always have a reference point, with figures, comparing, old figures, new figures, the likenesses and stuff like that. So it's just nice, for me at least. It's a personal thing for me, not to get rid of. because I didn't get into this for money. I started, reselling to be able to fund my collection after I had already spent hundreds of thousands. You know what I mean? So it was never like I got into it to make money. There's no such thing. But did I make a lot of money? Absolutely. When in the good old days were good, I bought figures for retail and I sold them for triple. So it was good, but those days are long gone.
Oh, that's tough. I thought about grabbing that DX15 Jack Sparrow, but he doesn't mean as much to me, to be honest, as these two. So it really didn't feel like much of a grail when I picked him up either. I don't know. Like it was one of. It was one I saw on Buy Sell Trade on Facebook, and I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna get that.
It wasn't too much of a chase, that's why.
Right. Where these, yeah, I don't know how well you can see them here. Try to get them in the light. So I have 2 grails, Fabs, and one is going to be the DX13, the battle damage Terminator.
I almost got 2 of those as well, and I didn't just because
this would be a great figure to have 2 of.
Yep.
Because
2 and I was like, nah.
You can have the arm off, towards the end of the movie, or you can put the arm back on. You can do the full battle damaged head sculpt, which I have, or you can do the
regular head.
The regular, which is still battle damage, but just not as much. You got the leg in there, all the blood.
Yep.
It's just
that's another one. That's another one that I wish I had 2 of. Yep.
So this one I've actually had twice now.
You're insane.
So I got him in my early days of collecting, and I do love him, but he's, as you can see, he's not in like a dynamic pose. He's just kind of in his end of the movie scene, and that's kind of how I like him. But I sold him when, again, this is just like a lesson learned, but I sold him in a bunch of my one-offs because I figured, maybe my collection should just be more focused on Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. And I did that for a while, and I sold my John Wick, my Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 figures, my RoboCop figures. Might have been something else that I sold too. But I wasn't happy, and I was like, man, I just miss the things that I loved as a kid. Like, it doesn't matter what my collection looks like as long as I'm happy with it. So I actually found this guy. I think I sold Darkseid Anakin pretty much to get him, and I got this guy brand new. He even had like a 2012 or 2014 calendar sealed up in the shipper box from, I don't know if it was from Sideshow or from straight from Hot Toys, but it was like from when it was released, and it had a calendar of that year of like Hot Toys stuff. So it's pretty cool because, yeah, I have that, and so I got them brand new.
Why did you sell it the first time?
Well, I told you, because I didn't know how my one-off figures would fit with my collection. So I'm like, maybe my collection would just look better if it was just the 3 franchises, because that's, and I had DTOS at the time, so I had like Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and then like half of a case was the one-offs, and I was just worried about what my collection looked like, but it really doesn't matter. It's just kind of what I like about it. What was that?
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful figure.
You want to go next?
Yeah, I'll do one of my 2. So this is one of them. This is for those who don't know, this is an actual real Shanghai exclusive gold chrome Midas Iron Man. That's awesome. Plastic. Yeah, it's plastic. So the reason why, I have both types of grails. I have grails that everybody was looking for and couldn't get, and I have, this would be considered one of my personal grails. This figure was strictly Shanghai only, and it got up to $2,000 on eBay. Okay.
Jeez.
I was looking for it forever. I was never going to pay. It was up to the cheapest I ever saw. It was about 1,200, and then it just kept going up and up and up to 2,000. Brand new sealed $2,000. The reason why this was a grail to me was because at the time I had every 99% of the Iron Man figures that Hot Toys had made, and I didn't even know this thing existed until I noticed that. So the Midas, the regular plastic Midas, came out, and I have it, of course. I actually have two of the regular Midases that came out on Sideshow, but I didn't know about this. Then years later, I saw this. Somebody had posted it in one of the groups, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And they're like, "Oh, and actually, it was I believe it was an Asian kid who had posted it." And I was like, "Where'd you get that?" "Oh, it was an exclusive, overseas, blah blah." And I was like, "What?" So again, I was not actively looking for it. I was not searching 24/7 for it. I was not, "Oh my God, I need this, I need this." But I knew that eventually I was going to get it. And I actually got it for about $250 used. Uh, Perfect condition, nothing missing, not scratched, not beat up, not broken, not everything. And it was one of the happiest days of my life because again, I have two of the original ones. Now I have this one. And then I don't know if you guys remember the diecast Midas that came out recently as well. So I have that too. Like I said earlier, these are all Mark 7s, just different paint colors, and they're beautiful, all of them. And my second personal grail, same style, is the copper chrome Stormtrooper. Same situation. Was an overseas only, release. Only overseas. It was not like what's going on now with Sideshow where, they threatened that it was Shanghai only and then we're getting them now. No, this was strictly overseas. Again, I didn't know when it came out. I had no idea it was even out until they came out with, because the porcelain, I'm pretty sure the porcelain Stormtrooper was first. Then they came out with the gold chrome. So I had both already. I bought the gold chrome after the porcelain. And then again, somebody had posted a picture of all three, and I was like, wait a minute, where did that come from? Because I knew, I was on top of Sideshow about every figure. I knew what was out. I knew what wasn't out, on Sideshow. I was never on top of anything overseas because I didn't even know that was a thing. And so, I saw it. I found out where it was from. It turns out it was actually, this was the regular version, but it was originally the chocolate. I don't know if you guys have seen that. They come with different brand. It's like a collaboration piece, and the bases are different. They usually come with different accessories, like little things, but spelled CHOCOOLATE. So it's not chocolate, it's chocolate. And again, I had no idea what they were. I looked it up. Again, super expensive on eBay. I was like, oh, man, come on. And then this one I got recently, a few months back, on a trade. Brand new sealed. Again, this is just the regular version. I didn't even know there was two different versions. I thought it was just one. I traded it for a brand new sealed a Bucky from Infinity War, which, to me was a great, a great deal. Same amount of money spent. It wasn't like, and that's the thing with trades too. A lot of people think, oh, well, this one's going for, $500 and this one is only, it's new, so it's worth. At the end of the day, if you spend around the same amount of money, I think that's a fair trade. Just because something's going on the market, obviously it depends how much more it's going on the market for and how much is it worth for the person to really, consider that, oh, well, the market's $300 more than my brand new figure right now. Me personally, I wouldn't do a deal and for somebody to say, oh, can you add cash? Absolutely not. If you want to do a straight trade, perfect, which is exactly how I got this one. Very happy about it. Very thankful for the guy. I thanked him a million times in my group and everything because it completed, everything else. So now I got the two clone chrome ones, and now I need the chrome Stormtrooper. And I can't wait for that to be. It looks like it's going to be on Sideshow, so I can't wait for that.
Very nice, very nice. I don't even know if I remember seeing that figure, so that's a pretty nice grail that you have there.
I didn't know about it either until I saw it. I was like, oh man, I was like, what is this? And at first I thought, because a lot of people customize these things too. They paint it themselves and stuff. So I thought it was a custom. And I was like, oh, what is this? They were like, oh no, this is an Asia release. I was like, oh man. I was like, what? So I knew as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, it's going to be a lot of money.
My next personal grail is going to be Jack Nicholson Joker from '89 Batman. This guy's going for, I'd say 500 is fair-ish. 450, 550. I've seen him anywhere from there. But this was a grail for me because this is another one that, well, the movie means so much to me because it was the first Batman movie I ever saw. It was the first movie I saw in the theater. I was 4 years old. My dad took me. It's
Same.
one moment that we shared together. It was in our old theater in town, which actually closed down for a while. And then somebody bought it and opened it back up and restored it so we can go there still. So it's really cool. But yeah, I was like falling asleep in the theater, but I was like 4 years old. Like, come on. But
That's so
yeah,
crazy.
it's more of like those memories I have with my dad. Plus, I love the movie, the nostalgia feelings, and Jack Nicholson just killed it as Joker. So, and the likeness is awesome. If you guys don't have this figure, this is one that I really recommend. If you can get your hands on it, I know is it Mars Toys kind of did
Yes.
it too recently, but I still think this one looks a lot better. The tailoring is awesome. It comes with a ton of accessories. It is a DX figure, but just that likeness to Jack. Look at that. I mean,
Yeah.
sadistic guy. Wait till they get a load of me, he says. But
That's funny that you said that. The same exact story with me with the movie. I remember being little. I was actually not even in the U.S. I was in Colombia, and I remember the commercials were the same during the same time was Dick Tracy and Batman. And my dad goes, "What do you want to see, Dick Tracy or Batman?" And I was like, "I want to see both." He goes, "No, you got to pick one." And I was like, "Batman." And same exact thing. Went with my dad, the local movie theater. Literally, we walked to the movie theater because it was so close. So that's crazy that you have the same story.
I think that's partly why I don't like the Batman Forever and the Batman and Robin movies. Well, Batman and Robin, I think we can all agree is a joke, but it's fun to watch now because you can laugh at it. But like I remember too, like after Batman Returns, when they wanted to make it more family friendly and they took it into a different direction, like it just killed my father. Like because he loved the Keaton Batman and the Batmobile and how everything looked in the darkness. And then I just remember him seeing it and he was just the look on his face. So it's kind of just a funny story too that we kind of joke about, but I'll never forget that, even how long ago it was. So there's other grails like I said, like the Jack Sparrow DX15 would be somewhat of one. The old Obi-Wan Kenobi, Emperor Palpatine. I don't know if I'd call it a grail, but it's probably my biggest steal of a figure. So I bought that. We know it's with the throne, and it's going for like what $600-700. I got it for $280, which is less than what it sold for retail, and I got that on eBay.
Still.
So sometimes, for the most part, it's always too good to be true. But like, I took a risk. I asked if there's anything wrong with it. They said no, and I'm like, I gotta pick this up while I still can, and I got it, and it's in great shape. So nothing wrong with it. So yeah, that's probably my biggest steal. But Fabs, I also need you before we go. I need you to settle something here. So
Yeah.
Andre says the DX13 Terminator is leather, the DX10 is leather. I thought it was the other way around. Do you know? Because this feels like real leather.
Let me see yours again. I'll tell you right now. I don't remember if anything, this one has leather because this is a newer figure.
Because it focuses there.
Yeah, see, I don't think it's leather either, though. I don't think they were using leather. It looks like leather, but I don't remember them making a big deal about, we're finally using leather. I don't think so at all, because if you look at the is it Present Toys Indiana Jones jacket that's supposed to be all leather?
I don't recall.
Well, they just a third party company just made a Indiana Jones figure. I forget. I think I want to say Present Toys. Maybe I'm wrong, but because there's so many third-party brands. But the jacket is supposed to be real, genuine leather, but it's so thick that when you try to bend, the arms, you can't really bend too much because of the thickness of the jacket. I don't think that that's actual real leather because look how thin it is. You know what I mean? It's not thick at all. So I don't think so. If they are, I have no idea. But I have them both. You want me to pull out the other one?
Yeah, because it'd be. He thinks the DX10 is leather. I'm just curious on if it is or not.
Hold on,
and I might try to search too.
Yeah, find out if it's true because back then I don't think anybody was talking about whether it was real leather or not.
Because one of them was. They did one of them in leather.
I think it's going to be the new one. It's not going to be the old one.
Leather jacket. Yeah, on eBay they just state like DX13 leather jacket, but obviously it's supposed to be a leather jacket, so I don't know if it is or not. If anybody out there knows, just let us know. But Andre also says, look at the battle damaged arm on the DX13. Feel it. You can tell DX10 is a little thicker, and it's leather. I have all Terminators. I'm not doubting you. I always thought that I heard that the DX13 was the leather figure. So I'm just trying to figure it out so I have my facts straight.
Yeah, if anything, it would be the newer figure because, again, I don't remember them ever making a big deal out of, leather figures back then, period. You know what I mean? Everybody knew it was that everybody knew it was that, what do you call it? That pleather stuff. So, and even the pants feel like straight up pleather. I don't think this has leather. I'm telling you right now.
Because here it almost looks like it's wearing instead of peeling.
Yeah, see, that looks more like leather. That looks more like leather than this, though. This is straight pleather. I'll tell you that right now. Look at it. It's shiny. It has way too much shine for it to be leather. Yours looks more rugged than anything. Even the jacket in the middle, this jacket look.
Yeah, that looks like the T1 jacket more.
Yeah, this is pleather. This is 100% pleather. This is not leather by any means. If anything, it's that one. And again, I don't even know if that's true because, again, I don't ever remember when these were out for sale that they were gonna, that they had real leather because I would have remembered that.
Okay.
This thing is insane.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool. Let's see. 89 Jokers, one of the best Jokers in my opinion. Yeah. Great Jack head sculpt. The DX14 is actually really good too. In some ways, I think it's a little bit better. It just looks more plump like Jack and maybe just a hair more realistic, but it doesn't beat this figure overall. Single Songwriter says we had no other Batman other than the 66 TV show every day after school. It's kind of corny, but it was all we had until 89. And that was the Batman we waited for. That's a long time to wait.
Yeah, that was the Adam West, Burt Ward Batman show.
Yep. I thought about getting those figures, but it's just another one I haven't been able to pull the trigger on.
The Jazz Inc. 1966 Batmobile?
No, if I get another vehicle, it's going to be the DeLorean.
Deluxe? Oh man, I can't wait for that figure. It's like supposed to be shipping at any moment right now. That vehicle, I can't wait.
Conquer Knight says, "Wow, Terminator's awesome, Fabio. Does he come with the Thumper grenade launcher?"
That's correct. It's right here. Yep. Wow, look at it. Yep. No. You heard that? You heard it?
So Single Songwriter says product archive, leather like battle damage jackets and pants.
I don't get it.
So are you saying a certain figure has leather?
I'm telling you, if anything, it's the 13. It's not the 10. I can tell you that right now. There is no way. This is straight pleather. I can tell you that right now. And again, it looks brand new because I thank God I don't have any weather, temperature issues inside here because it's always cooler here. But it's definitely not leather.
Interesting.
All right. This is have to gotta put that on later.
All right. Anything else you wanna? We're at the 2-hour mark. It's usually when I putter out here. Anything you wanna add before we go? What's going on your channel?
Oh man, my channel's
You're streaming.
Yes, finally. I had to finally start my own thing. I'm loving it. I'm usually by myself. Everybody I invite never has time for me, so I've been doing it on my own.
Passive
I love
aggressive.
it. I love it. A lot of you guys, from me, not a lot, but some of you guys from in here have been on my streams as well. So I appreciate everybody for being there, everybody for subscribing, liking the videos. I'm having a blast. I don't know. I mean, I know what took me so long to start, but I'm so glad I finally took the plunge because I think it was like a little fear of like not knowing how to navigate through the the system and the StreamYard. And my first stream was straight YouTube, not even StreamYard, just because I didn't know that there was a free version to use. And then when I found out, I was like, oh wait, let me try it. And very simple to navigate through so far, at least the free version. Eventually I'm gonna end up buying the the upgraded one, the premium one. And then but yeah, no, I'm having a blast. Thank you for having me. Hope you to get canceled tonight. And then so we'll we'll hopefully you'll come on my show one day whenever you don't have your channel anymore. And then so and then, but yeah, no, thank you. It was a blast, and I can't wait to be back next week. What?
What? It was fun. And if you guys haven't seen, Fabs is at 892. So hey, if you haven't subscribed, let's get them over that 1,000 mark, because that's a big achievement, and that's something to be proud of. And I remember too, it took me months to get the balls to like stream, because I didn't know anybody at the time either. So I was just creating content, and then some of my followers were like, you should stream, you should go live. And I'm like, I'd love to interact with you guys. But at the same time, I'm nervous as hell. I've never done it before. I don't know anybody, and I did the first couple by myself. Then yeah, it was awkward, but I think once you do it, you get it down, and then yeah, it's not a problem. So good to have you on.
Thank you.
Like I told you guys too, on my my channel, I'm gonna come out with the new room the new room tour, hopefully this week. And then yeah, we might stick with Wednesday nights for a while. See how that works. Otherwise, I'll try to give you guys a heads up on Instagram of when the next live stream's coming out. So Conquer says he's gonna subscribe right after this. Cool, you stream now. So
thank you.
Yeah, appreciate all you guys coming on the channel, hanging out with us. You guys in the chat, you did great tonight too, by the way, because sometimes I like coming on here with not much of an agenda and letting you guys kind of dictate what you want us to talk about. So yeah, just keep thinking of things you want to talk about, and when we come on the stream, then we can do that and interact with you guys, because that's what it's all about. But until next time, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon. See you guys.